Let me show you how I made this bowl with this 3-tool set of simple wood turning tools. There's a rougher, a detailer, and the simple turner and hollower is the round one. They're mounted in solid aluminum handles that have a foam grip. The first tool I'm going to use is the 55-degree detailer to mark where I want to saw this blank. I want to make it as round as possible before starting to rough it, so I'll cut it out on the bandsaw and mount it back on the lathe. Then I'll use the simple rougher to make the basic shape. You can see that this tool is really great for removing lots of material. It's real stout, solid stainless steel, and with the handle on it, it's over 2 feet long, so it gives you a lot of control, and it really makes it fun, actually. So there I got the basic shape that I want. There's still a little bit of punky stuff to get rid of there, so I'll just kind of clean it up one more time. You can cut with the side of this cutter, or you can just push it straight on down if you want. And once I got that done, I'm going to mount a 4-jaw chuck on it. Now there's 2 ways of doing that. After you flatten the bottom, mark the center hole, and then set a caliper for the radius that I want. Make a mark there, and then draw a circle with a pencil. Then it's back to the rougher again to cut it down to the shape or the size that I want. Now it's got a straight wall at this point, so that's where the 55-degree detailer comes in, and we can make that dovetail there. Can't really do that with any other tool, so that's why we include this one. One of the reasons why we include it with this set. It's also great for making a finish cut, so that's what I did there. There's that dovetail tenon, and of course it matches the dovetail jaws. So that really gives you a great way to hold a piece. So there it is there. One thing you want to make sure you do is make sure that that tenon is shorter than the jaws are tall, so it doesn't bottom out in the chuck. That gives you the best way to hold. Now I don't really want to do this bowl this way. I'd rather have a mortise in it. So we'll make a dovetail mortise after finishing the bottom here with the rougher, because that's going to be the completed bottom there. Holding it at an angle kind of makes a shearing cut, and it gives you a better finish. So now again, I'll mark the center point with a pencil, measure the diameter of the jaws, and then set the caliper to the radius. Make a mark from that center point, and then kind of highlight it with a pencil again. And then it's back to the rougher to create that mortise or hole, pocket, whatever you want to call it. Now this has to be deeper than the jaws are tall so that the jaws don't bottom out in this hole. If they did, then the chuck won't hold it secure enough. So there we go, making that dovetail shape on the inside of that hole. So there we got a dovetail mortise, and now we can put the chuck on there, tighten it up, and reverse it, and then we'll remove the faceplate. Then it'll be ready to start hollowing, and it's back to the rougher tool again. If you hold it at a bit of an angle like this, it really removes a lot of material in a hurry. You can also use all these tools in our hollowing system. Hey, while you're watching this, if you wouldn't mind subscribing, I would really appreciate that. It helps us build our channel. People ask if you can turn small projects with these full-size tools. Well, you can. They're not as handy as the smaller tools, but one thing you keep in mind about what size tools to buy is you can turn small projects. Whoa, look at those chips there, huh? That thing really takes out a lot of nice chips. Anyway, you can make small projects with the big tools, but you can't make big projects with small tools. So here we're using the simple turner and hollower to kind of finish the inside, make a nice rim there, and come down the wall. That really makes a lot of nice chips too. And of course it makes the kind of the radius on the inside of the bowl. Back to the rougher here. to flatten the bottom. Pretty much have to have some sort of a straight cutter to do that. Give you a nice flat bottom there. And then again, I'm using it at a bit of an angle to make a smoother cut. So all our tools are made in America and in Ramsey, Minnesota, actually. So we really appreciate your business and the fact that you're buying American-made tools. We do our best to make super high-quality tools. And there's the finished inside after a little bit of sanding. It's looking pretty sweet. And now we got to just finish up the outside a little bit. Back to the Simple Rougher again to just kind of clean up that outer profile. And there's the STH again, the Simple Turner and Hollower, kind of working on the foot there. Back to the detailer, clean up underneath this rim, and we'll cut a couple of little coves by just sweeping it back and forth a couple of times. This is a really handy tool. It also works really good for finishing if you use the edge of the tool or the edge of the cutter, like I'm doing right there. Really smooths off that rim, kind of makes a nice radius there on the rim. I'm pointing it up in the air and holding it at an angle, sort of rolling the tool. And that gives you a nice finish. Can do that pretty much anywhere. Works great when you're doing spindle turning and that kind of stuff too. So there's the outside, and it's really all done. There, I've sanded it. Now I'll just take it off the chuck, and the bowl is completely finished, really. I'm just going to have to sand it a little by hand, or if you have our vacuum chuck, you can mount it in the vacuum chuck and sand it on the lathe. There's links to that in the description as well. So you can find that vacuum chuck or the hollowing system that I talked about previously. So thanks for watching our video. Please like it and subscribe. And look for more videos. There'll be more coming soon. Thanks again.